It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Houston Texans and the Washington Commanders. And it's coming up next.
We are approximately 5 miles east of Washington, D.C., and that's where you find this place, Commanders Field in Landover, Maryland.
Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And, partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
Here's Austin Seibert now to get this one started, and off we go from Northwest Stadium in Landover. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his second year in the NFL now.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd down and 2. They'll run it for the first time with Dameon Pierce.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
On the ground, it's the rookie running back out of Miami.
And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
This 2nd and 4. Now Stroud. Throw over the middle is taken in by Dell.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Stroud.
It's complete to Diggs. Just a gain of a couple there. And it's 2nd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
That's pulled in by Brooks.
And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher, 3rd down and 9. And a good sign for them right now to have their young quarterback looking confident on the opening drive.
Now, we haven't met a young quarterback, a veteran quarterback. It doesn't matter. We haven't met a quarterback yet that doesn't tell us he's confident about his abilities, right?
That's true.
But when you're young, it's really important to get off to a good start because it does build up that confidence and allows him to play better as the game goes on.
Especially crucial here on the road. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
And he remains perfect on this opening drive. Charles now 5 of 5 and another first down to work with.
He's like one of those great shooters in basketball that has his rhythm, has his confidence, and he doesn't think anything is going to miss right now. As far as he's concerned, he's going to be perfect the entire game, And who's to say that it won't happen the way he's throwing it right now?
A first down carry for Davis. And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Here's Stroud. Over the middle, he gets it to Collins. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 17-yard line.
12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Stroud looking to throw. Catch is made. It's Schultz on the out route.
So just 3 yards on the completion there, and that'll make it 2nd down. And so far, a very nice, methodical opening drive.
This has the feel of a scripted drive that they rehearsed perfectly all week long, and now they're executing it on game day.
Script looks good so far.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete.
And the Texans are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston.
Brevin Jordan
from 4 yards out.
And the Texans are on the board first here this afternoon.
Just how they wanted to start this one, in the end zone on their first possession.
And that just happened. How about that play right there? As you said, opening possession, setting the tone for everything. And I'm going to look forward a little bit now because everyone should be celebrating his catch in the end zone. The tight end gets a little bit of love. But if you're a receiver on the team, you should be thinking to yourself, boy, oh boy, things are going to open up the rest of the game if they have to focus on him as well.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So out comes the Washington offense as they get their first shot.
And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And they run the option on second down.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting one more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's third down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. To throw is Daniels. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 13 yards there on a Washington first. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Straight ahead, it's Robinson, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the 46, here's the 2nd and 8. Now Daniels. This to McLaurin out on the left side. Third and 5. Working out of the gun, Daniels. Crowder's got it over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Play action, now it's Daniels. That's complete as he goes right back to Crowder. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. From the 20, here's 2nd and 4. They'll run this one right with Robinson. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line to hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
Robinson will try to pick it up. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion. Yeah,
I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
They'll run with Robinson. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Eckler will take this one in. Touchdown, Washington.
Boy, 2 long, sustained drives by each team to start things out. It's kind of similar to how the pitch clock has shortened baseball games. That means we'll be out of here quickly if we get a few more drives like that. We're in the 2nd quarter now, and we've only had 1 drive apiece, each of which have ended with touchdowns.
Seibert on for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's Austin Eckler who finishes things off with a touchdown run. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Their quarterback in this offense heading back out to the field. He had the short touchdown pass on their previous drive, and they'll begin again here on 1st and 10. Stroud to throw it. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
Throwing now is Stroud. He'll complete this one to Collins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now a stoppage for an injured player. A lot of people holding their breath on this one right now. That's Stephon Diggs, who is shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
And Stroud now to throw. He'll let this go deep for Collins.
And this is caught inside the 5.
And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down at the 2. So close.
A huge play there for Houston. 45 yards.
Well, he looked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively. Just too hard to keep him under wraps. He delivers a big play here for this offense.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on first and goal.
Davis.
And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7.
Second and goal from the 1.
Stroud off the play fake.
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Third and goal, Stroud.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Dalton Schultz, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans have taken the lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And it was the tight end Dalton Schultz on the touchdown reception to cap the drive.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now 2nd and 9. They go play action. Daniels.
He's going deep for Brown. And that's caught inside the 35. A huge play there for Washington. 44 yards.
There's the arm strength that we saw in college and during the scouting process. And really, it's not just the arm strength there, but the placement as well. To me, that was an excellent combination of arm talent and accuracy.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Daniels looking to throw.
And he completes this one to Terry McLaurin.
The Commanders going to use the second of their timeouts,
as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. To the air goes Daniels. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders.
Jamison Crowder, an 11-yard touchdown.
And the Commanders are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Texans with the football here late in this first half, as they will take over here with a little more than 30 seconds remaining.
Throwing to start the drive. Stroud. He will find Davis on the left side, complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Second down in a yard.
Operating from the gun. Stroud. He drops this off to Ogunbowale. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
A shotgun snap to Stroud. Throw right side, taken in by Collins.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Now Stroud. That's complete to Dell.
The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Stroud. He's got it to Collins, complete.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. So we've hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. First chance for the Commanders' offense now as they head out for their opening series of the second half. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Now a 2nd and 10. Robinson up the middle.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Daniels from the gun on 3rd down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. On the give, here's Robinson.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
42 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Throwing now is Daniels.
That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory.
Big yardage that time for Washington. 44 yards.
When you get into the second half of a tie ball game, you start realizing that every play takes on a bigger significance, and this is pretty significant right here. This is where you start putting the pressure on that secondary, and that's a job well done there.
Here's Daniels.
Buying time to his left.
And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. Jaden Daniels.
A 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Commanders have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half.
And this is a balancing act for a head coach with a rookie quarterback. You've got to walk a line with it. You don't want him getting happy feet, but you also don't want to rein in what worked for him in college. And here, he pulls it down, takes it himself, and takes it into the end zone.
Seibert on for the PAT. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So that drive, 6 plays, 75 yards. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Inside give to Davis. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
The left side caught by Diggs.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
There's 6 DBs on the field for Washington on third down. Stroud out of the gun here. That is caught. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
First and 10, it's Pierce.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
They'll set up the screen with Davis. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
Stroud looking to throw.
That's complete. It's Collins. And he's got this down to the 35. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another first down.
They go back to the ground now with Davis. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. And they'll go play action here with Stroud.
And Diggs has it. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. He got 29 yards that time.
Throwing now is Stroud.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Stephon Diggs from 6 yards away.
And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this ball game here in the final moments of the third quarter. So a strong drive here to lead off this third quarter. That has them an extra point away from tying things up.
And, partner, this is pretty much what they envisioned when they were sitting there in the locker room thinking about getting things going to start here in the third quarter. Getting out there, a field goal would have been fine, but going ahead and scoring here, an extra point away from tying things up, that's exactly how they drew it up on the board.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And we are tied at 21. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told.
And it's finished off by the touchdown by Stephon Diggs.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And these two teams have traded touchdowns so far with their first possessions here in the third quarter, so we're right back to where we started at intermission.
Yeah, how about that? Tied at the half, tied after the first two drives of the third quarter, one for each. That tells me that someone's defense has got to step up and make a big play and try and change the momentum of this game.
Back now at Commanders Field.
All even as we get ready to start the fourth.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's a 2nd and 4. On the option, here's Eckler.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
This offense so far on 3rd down, a perfect 4 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Give to Robinson on the option.
And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
55 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And credit the tackle to Derek Barnett.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Up the middle with Eckler. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down.
Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. And Robinson will not get there. Great defense at the point of attack, going to stop him short of the 1st.
Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. Good spot on the field to go for it. Kind of no man's land, as they call it, and it worked out.
Yeah, they call it no man's land because your punter is telling you it's too short. I'm just going to punt it into the end zone. Your field goal kicker might give you a little raised eyebrow. Might be too far for the field goal, so it gives you a great chance to go for it. Personally, if you have those tendencies to be aggressive as a head coach, you kind of like this spot because it gives you the decision to go ahead and go for it when you want to anyway.
Here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Daniels. Pass to Brown. He's got it on the crossing route.
And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 22-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
2nd and 10. Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
On 3rd down, Robinson.
And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1. Got to kick it, right? I mean, even the short yardage, you boot this thing, don't you?
Yeah, but I know how aggressive you are. I know what you want. You want to go for it, don't you? You're feeling it, aren't you?
Yeah, but treat it like a football game, not like Madden.
I like that. Fight the temptation, kick the field goal, because if you go for it and don't get it, you put a lot on your defense in a short amount of time.
Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports.
So it's Commanders football as we get back to it.
And they're looking at 4th down now in this tie ball game. Here comes an important one now for Austin Seibert. This for the lead in the final stages. Seibert's kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they managed the clock exactly right.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Texans offense and C.J. Stroud getting ready for this next drive. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. This is 1st and 10. Stroud to throw it. Got his man, Dell.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
That's a nice job right there, partner, because they were able to work down the middle of the field, working in the seams, because I think defensively, they were guarding the sidelines, trying to keep them from getting out of bounds. They took what they gave them, and it was successful.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Here's Stroud.
And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
80 seconds remain. 2nd and 10. Now Stroud.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so, but it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
Big play looming here. This is 3rd and 7 with a crowd on their feet. Stroud. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Stroud looks to throw. That's caught by Diggs.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th.
Final minute, 1 timeout remaining. 1st and 10. To throw is Stroud. That's caught by Davis. Here comes 2nd down. Stroud back to throw.
He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow. Wow.
Well, that is the definition, Charles, of delivering under pressure. The game-winning potential. There's still a little time left on the clock, but the potential game-winning drive, and it was well executed.
I think we're going to remember this possession for a long time. We've called a bunch of games, but how about how they got it done down the stretch? Absolutely terrific. Barring some type of miraculous play in this last half minute, I think that touchdown just earned them the win. They really came up clutch when they needed it.
So this drive spanned 7 plays.
And it was C.J. Stroud who finished off that drive with the touchdown run.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Commanders' offense and running back Brian Robinson getting set for this next drive. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter.
He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 35.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Two timeouts still in their back pocket. It's 1st and 10.
Back to throw.
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans have just about sewn up this football game.
That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll.
Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout.
And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
To a knee goes Stroud, and that is going to be all she wrote. What a finish in this one, Charles. You know, this group, they come in, they have to fight a hostile atmosphere every snap. They get the late score, they get the victory, and that flight home, it's going to be a little sweeter after this one.
And Brandon, just like you, I was fired up for that last sequence. How about that? Wouldn't you have loved to have been in the huddle when they were mounting that game-winning drive? Big-time moment. No one shied away from it. They tuned out the crowd, kept their heads, and executed the way they needed to earn that win.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we sign off from Landover.